What's up guys, hope you're doing well. Today we have a program review and we are going to be looking at 4 programs that my subscribers sent me. I want to clarify that for this channel I'm going to be uploading more longer format and unedited content, and on the channel that I'm going to link in the description I'm going to be uploading the short format and edited stuff. So if you're interested in that type of content, I suggest you go there and subscribe. So without further delay, we can start with today's program review, starting off with Josh Smith's program. So we have talked a lot on Instagram with this guy and he really knows how to program. We have a similar style, so I have a lot of expectations for this guy. So first of all, let's see his goals. He wants a well-rounded physique with an emphasis on lats, arms, and also legs, including the forearms. He plans on lean walking for the next few months, and he has some type of lower back / SI joint type of issues. So he's unable to heavy squat, deadlift, or do Romanian deadlifts. He says that he wants to return to other movements as his back pain improves over time. And his current split is pretty good, which is an upper-lower 4 times a week. Starting off with the first day, we start with an arm-biased day in which we start off with weighted dips and weighted neutral grip pull-ups in a superset fashion, which I really like. Now, if I were to be pedantic, I would say that we can replace the weighted dips by either chain dips, so using chains as accommodating resistance, or a slingshot dip with weight, of course, to have that concentric bias nature of the slingshot and or chains, which are going to overload the top where the triceps are doing most of the work by themselves. You do get a good arm bend with dips and you get a nice stretch, but you're also stretching the chest, which is not necessarily bad, but if your goal is to bias towards the arms, then I highly suggest that you try some type of concentric focused dips. Otherwise, you could do something like an activation set with BFR bands, like doing a rep goal set of 30 with dips and then doing the following sets either with or without BFR bands. I would suggest with, and doing it in the 10 to 12 rep range or 8 to 12, something like that. I think it might be better for biasing, especially the long head, just my 2 cents there. Then the weighted neutral grip pull-ups, I like them. What I would say personally is that I would go lower rep ranges of like 4 to 6 instead of 5 to 8. Then the second superset I really like. And to solve the issue of the intense rep drop-off, what I would do personally is do wide grip chin-ups as much as you can, and then once you start seeing a noticeable rep drop-off, you start using bands, so band assisted wide grip chin-ups, which is going to still bias the movement towards the concentric where the biceps are working the most. And then the decline diamond push-ups are a goated movement, and I suggest you keep them in because they're amazing for building up the triceps. And I really like that your program up to now is reflecting your goals of having bigger arms. For all of you that are listening, if you want bigger arms, start off your days with arm work, or at least arm biased compounds. Yes, but the bench press is more important. No, it's actually the opposite. If your goal is to grow arms, you do your arm work first. As simple as that. Don't fall under the power lifter or the classical way of thinking of like, no, first come the presses, then come the isolation. Or first come the heavy presses, and then we go with the arm bias compounds. You can do it the opposite way, and it's going to be better because you're going to be fresher in the session and are going to be able to push yourself on those muscles better. So really good second superset. Then the giant set, I would personally split it into 2 supersets just because when you're doing isolation beyond failure, it's really complicated to keep that consistency of pushing yourself to failure or beyond. So I would split it into 2 to avoid that sandbagging that is going to occur if you have a giant set done. My 2 cents on the matter. Then the lower day is upper back / quad focused, and he does some calves first, which is a clever strategy because otherwise he's not going to do them. And I suggest that if you have a body part, for example forearms or neck for most people, do it first if you have movements later down the session that you really enjoy. So if you love, for example, barbell rows and you have them in your program, do your neck curls first and then you do your barbell rows so that when you're doing the neck curls, even though it might be boring for you, you know that what's coming next is going to be actually quite enjoyable. So that's one thing. Then he has some rehab stuff, which is, I'm not going to comment because I'm not a physiotherapist. Then we move on to the first superset, which is single-legged RDL and single-arm dumbbell rows. And he's planning on switching them with bent-over rows or Tiva rows once his back gets better. So what I would do here is actually replace both. So once you're able to do Tiva rows, I would, instead of doing this superset, it's just one movement, which is Tiva rows, and I would superset that with neck, because on this day, you don't have any type of neck work. So something like that. Now, I like the rep ranges for the single-legged RDL because it's a unilateral movement, and unilateral movements, because they are more unstable, they tend to benefit from higher reps, and they're more comfortable to do in that fashion. Also, it helps with the mind-muscle connection. Then the single arm dumbbell rows, I would personally switch them up for a bilateral variation, especially a calisthenics variation that is supported, something like inverted rows, front lever rows, maybe like if you want to do unilateral, you can do archer rows if you want to, or if you want to do weights, Helms rows are going to go work wonders, because you're already doing a unilateral movement, and the worst thing you can do is have two unilateral movements supersetted, because the superset's going to be eternal. So I recommend you to switch that up with a bilateral row variation. And then we have no supersetted deficit split squats with 4 to 8. I really don't like the rep range. I would go higher because you already started off with something higher reps, which is single-legged Romanian deadlifts. So for the split squats, I would go 10 to 15 or 10 to 20 even, something like that. And I would pair that up with some neck work, because again, you don't have any type of neck work. Jesus Christ. So that's my 2 cents there. And then the giant set, I would change the finger curls for dead hangs, because it's going to allow you to decompress the spine, decompress the shoulders, and allow you to stretch properly while also working the forearms, and also having carryover to pulling strength. So my 2 cents there, I think that dead hangs would actually work better in this case. Then day 3, we have chest and shoulder focused. We have incline bench or ring pike push-ups. I love the fact that he included ring pike push-ups, because it is such a good movement for the shoulders. You can do them 80 press style, you can do them OHP style, behind the neck press style, neutral, pronated, supinated, as much range of motion as you want. It's amazing. I would personally wouldn't rotate between incline bench and ring pike push-ups. I would do either OHP or ring pike push-ups to just have more shoulder volume, because you have a lot of chest work, but you don't have enough shoulders. So I think that shoulders are as important, if not a little bit more important than chest. So definitely have some consistent shoulder work. Now, I like the super wide grip pull-ups, but I will tell you that you didn't specify here if you do so, but basically for the super wide grip pull-ups, what you want to do is you want to do as much range of motion as you can, and then keep going by doing lengthened partials and then assisted concentrics. So basically you help yourself on the way up, and then on the way down, you really slow down the eccentric without any type of assistance. Then the second superset is ring push-ups and regular pull-ups, which again, inoffensive, and it works. Then the giant set is similar to the first day, just with different exercises, and I would split it again into 2 supersets. And the cable rear deadlift fly, I would switch it up for the X-pulls that you saw on my latest video. Outside of that, pretty good day. Then we have the day 4, which is the lower 2. We have a warm-up, which again, calves and rehab. Then he has no superset with this. Add some neck work, Jesus Christ. Then we have Bulgarian split squats. Again, I would go higher reps. And I wouldn't switch them up for heel elevated plus squats, because I would actually save my budget, my lower back budget, for posterior chain movements like deadlift, barbell rows, and stuff like that. Because training the quads without taxing the lower back is actually quite simple, but training the posterior chain without taxing the lower back is very complicated. So I would personally keep them as it is. Then you have prone cable hamstring curls, which I actually would switch with the fat grip, neutral grip forearm pull-ups. So I would move this down here to the fat grip place and the fat grips here. And then the giant set is pretty good, nothing to say here. Overall, I gave the program a 7.5 out of 10, so a pretty good program, but it can be improved on some aspects. So let's move on to the next program, which is by Tom. And with this one, I'm going to be brief, and also with the next one, because they have some glaring issues that are inherent to the structure of the program. So basically his main goal, the only one he specified, is to get more muscle and a 2-plate weighted pull-up, which is counterintuitive to the structure of his program because he has lower upper, lower upper. The reason why he does this is because he, as he specifies here, he does upper days at home and lower days at the gym. He has dumbbells, resistance bands, and rings that are fixed in place, and he also has barbell compounds, and he likes to go low reps, on also 8 to 15, although he's not biased towards that rep range. He would like the frequency to stay the same, and he prefers calisthenics and free weights, but machines are okay. The volume is not very high overall, and he's also a pretty busy guy, and he has a shoulder injury. So basically, what I would say, and also in terms of strength, I would say he's a beginner. So here's what I would do personally. First of all, don't start off, if your goal is to have a weighted pull-up increase, don't start off your days with leg movements. If you're forced, because you have to go to the gym to do your weighted pull-ups, to do them on your lower days, start off with the weighted pull-ups, especially in this low rep range. Warm up and do your weighted pull-ups, and then you do your leg movements, because otherwise you're going to get to the weighted pull-ups after you are exhausted, because you like to push intensity. So do the weighted pull-ups first. Then you're missing neck work, and I know you're busy, but if you're going to focus on one muscle in your lower days, it should be, well, first of all, the legs, but also the neck. So again, do some type of neck work. Pair that up with the heel elevated squats, with the Romanian deadlift, something like that. And also you can pair up the weighted pull-ups with something like lateral raises or the weighted sit-ups. Then on your upper days, I think they are fine, honestly, and you can replace the deficit ring push-ups and decline ring push-ups with regular push-ups, but make sure to properly control the eccentric, slow it down, and make it more out of less weight as possible, so improve the stimulus to fatigue ratio. And the reason why I would say it's better if you replace them by regular push-ups is that, yeah, you can do 18 push-ups, but if you really control the eccentric and stuff, you're going to find out that you can do barely enough reps to fit in the rep range. So you're going to be very challenged, especially if you keep yourself leaning forward throughout the whole movement. And if you protract at the top and you really slow down the eccentric, over time you're going to improve your shoulder health, because push-ups are mainly used to rehab in most cases. So definitely start doing some regular push-ups with proper eccentric control, and you can mix them up, like for example doing them with resistance bands to change the resistance curve. You can do them decline, you can do them regular, you can do them closer grip, wider grip, 45 degrees, elbows tucked in. You can do a lot of stuff with push-ups which are going to challenge you. So that's my 2 cents. And then again, we have more issues of upper body movements done on lower body days. So what I would recommend actually, and I know you don't want to change the frequency, but I think it's necessary and it would work better actually, is to have full body 3 times a week, or if you want to have 4 times a week, go ahead. But I would personally keep it 3 times a week, and that way you can go and train your pull-ups on the first day. On the second day you do more leg focused stuff, and then on Friday you go to the gym and you do more upper body related stuff. But a full body 3 times a week might actually be better. With that out of the way, we move on to the next program, which is by Tim. So with Tim, again, I'm going to be brief because the problem is in the structure in itself. The exercise selection is not bad, but the order is messed up. For example, on the pull day, he starts off with dead hangs, which why? Do it at the end of the session. I would personally start off with chin-ups, then pull-ups, then move on to face pulls, then leg raises, then dead hangs, something like that. And the leg days are just like, I don't know if you generated a list of exercises by ChatGPT and then stuck in the random sets, but yeah, I think it's missing a lot of posterior chain work and some hamstring isolation, like Nordic curls, ring hamstring curls, something like that. Yeah, I think that you need to rethink the program. I think that having upper, lower, upper, so upper 2 times a week and lower 1 times a week might actually be better, and just have this leg day, but remove like the CC squats and either the Bulgarian split squats or the lunges, and add some type of hamstring isolation, some type of pull like from the floor, something like that. Because he has gym rings and dumbbells for legs, but you're missing posterior chain work, which is going to lead to lower back pain and probably knee injuries. So yeah, that's my 2 cents, and it's going to also be more time efficient. Again, do upper, lower, upper. I think it's going to be best, and it's going to save you time. So upper, rest, lower, rest, upper, rest, rest. Simple as that. Now we move on to the final program, which is by a loyal subscriber, Dyna Spinner, and his goals basically is to get jacked. He does a push, pull, rest, pull, push, rest, and he trains for hypertrophy. He has a pull-up bar, rings, and dumbbells, and he doesn't have any specific rep range, and he knows how to progress with bodyweight, which it really shows that he's a loyal subscriber, because he knows how to progress with bodyweight and how to approach bodyweight training. He is consistently gaining weight, which is amazing, and he's keeping pretty good body fat. I would personally increase it a little bit via bulking, just to make the basic bodyweight exercises more difficult, and also to create an environment that facilitates growing muscle. So let's see his program. He does ring dips, diamond push-ups, he goes to failure, lateral raises, ring extensions, and ring reverse curls. And then the other day is ring pull-ups, neck extension, inverted rows, neck curls, ring face pulls, and ring curls. All 2 sets. So here what I will say is that he can benefit from, I like that he's the only program from the one that we reviewed today that incorporates neck work, which makes me really happy, and I'm really proud of this kid. Now, what I will say, however, is that first of all, with the ring extensions, you can go higher reps, something like 10 to 15, 15 to 25, and the same with the ring reverse curls, simply because ring reverse curls benefit from going higher reps because they feel better, and it allows you to properly do the movement without any type of wrist issues. And the ring extensions the same, but for the elbows. Ring extensions for lower reps are a pain in the elbow tendon. So I really recommend you increase the reps to build the tissue capacity and to prevent any type of joint pain. Then for the pulls, I think the pull day is perfect, and I wouldn't say anything bad about it. So the only thing I would really say is, for this program, it really doesn't make sense to separate push from pull. What you can do is upper, rest, and then rest again. I think that would cut a lot of time, and maybe will allow you to incorporate a leg day, maybe. But if you're very busy, I think that just having 3 days where you train both upper and lower is going to be push and pull is going to allow you to maximize time efficiency. But it's a very functional program, and I like it. Try to incorporate an extra set, like an extra weekly set every 2 weeks on both pushes and pulls, especially pulls, because I believe you're not doing enough volume, but very slowly, just one weekly set every 2 to 3 weeks, I think is going to work best. So that's just my 2 cents on your program, and I would rate it overall a 7 out of 10. So this is the program review for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave me your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to send me your program, don't be afraid. You can do so. Go on to Protein Man Supremacy and go on to the pinned post that says, I want your program, and follow the instructions as detailed. Give me as much information as possible so I can properly gauge it. So thank you a lot for watching this video, and thanks for watching.